Exodus chapter 1 through chapter 10, God now begins the process of delivering his people out of bondage and captivity to the world and to sin. Because remember, between Genesis 50 and Exodus 1 is 400 years. And now Exodus 1 through 10, God now begins this process of delivering his people out of that bondage. In Exodus chapter 2, verses 1 through 10, how does God do this? God begins to do this. We see through the life of a man and a woman. They had a baby. This baby they hid for several months. They were then able to hide the baby in a basket, cover the basket. They kind of salt where the wind was going, maybe, how the tides were going. And they kind of said, and their other daughter went and kind of ran alongside. Maybe she had some go fasters on. She ran really fast. Maybe she jumped on some hippos and alligators and bapped them in the head. But we see how God guided and God protected this baby, and how the parents placed their faith and their trust in the Lord to protect, and how the baby went straight to Pharaoh's daughter. Pharaoh's daughter went over there, saw, looked at the baby, saw how the baby was so cute. She saw the ark among the reeds. She sent her maid to get it. She opened it. She saw the child. She said, "Oh, you're so cute. Yeah, little," right? So that's what daughter said, because they were Korean. They say kawaii. And she had compassion on him, right? Kawaii. And she said, this is one of the Hebrews' children. And then his sister, so Moses' sister, calls out and said, "Excuse me, ma'am, shall I go fetch a maiden for you to nurse the child?" And so then she's like, "Well, yes, you may go do that." So she didn't understand that this was a plant here. It's like a cuckoo bird. But anyways, so then the child runs, goes and finds her mother, goes and finds Moses' mother. And what does Moses' mom get to do? Moses' mom gets to raise Moses up in the ways of the Lord, and gets to raise him up with the fear of the Lord and the knowledge and understanding of being a Hebrew. And all this, she gets paid to raise her own son. She gets paid and has a house given to her to raise her own son. The easiest mother job of ever, right? And how did it happen? How did the easiest mother job of all times come? She trusted the Lord with her child. She released her child into the Lord's arms, and it became easier. She didn't release it into the baseball fields, did she? No. That's how it gets worse.